Hey guys, this is Lisa from NYC Gal Out. Welcome back to my channel. We are talking Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 15, Episode 3. So I'm playing catch up with the episodes, and I'm actually enjoying the season. I wish I would have recapped as the episodes were airing, but there was just so much going on, and plus they decided to do all of this around the holidays, which is like the worst time to do any of this stuff. And then I was recapping Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but anyway, here we are. Episode 3. It starts off with Boz having kind of like a meet and greet with men that she called up on her Rolodex, successful men, whatever else. And I really loved that. She had like a real good amount of men there, and they were successful, good looking. There was a lawyer, I think his name is Matt. I thought he was the best looking one. All the girls seemed to like the Australian guy. The Australian guy was like an inspirational coach. I was like, what kind of nonsense is that? But all right, whatever. Maybe him and Amanda, they could talk coaching or whatever. Amanda wasn't there, obviously. It was a meeting, dating, get to know you kind of event. And let me tell you, Boz, she knows some very successful men. She worked in entertainment. She was an executive with, I think it was Pepsi. I can't remember if it was Pepsi or Cola, but she was an executive with Sony, or was it Apple Music? You see, I can't ever remember any of these, but she has some very big titles with big corporations. It was so cringe. Erica running back into the house to get a drink. Rachel so kind of just, she's neither here nor there. I don't know what's going on with her. Sutton liked the lawyer, not Matt. There was another lawyer. I think he said his name was Rich. I can't remember if he said Rick or Rich, but he liked Erica because he gave Erica his business card, but Sutton seemed to like him. So it kind of gave me a little bit of that flashback of her wearing pants at Magic Mike's, and then she was upset that nobody wanted to dance on her lap. I feel like she doesn't click very well with the other ladies, So the only one who wasn't acting completely weird about it was Dorit. Now, after the men leave, Boz, she asked the ladies what they think of the men. And she says she likes that lawyer guy, Rick or Rich. I think he said he represented a couple of baseball players or athletes or something. And Erica says, I'm going to be a good girlfriend. And she gives Sutton his business card. But here's the thing, though. At that point, even though it wasn't serious, she was already with that ex-special forces guy. So she was already seeing him, even if it wasn't, as serious as it was. On Watch What Happens Live, she said that she is with that guy for 6 months now. But when this was being filmed, it wasn't 6 months. It was the beginning of their relationship. So she probably already felt yeah, I'm already invested in someone else. So she just handed that card over to Sutton. But I kind of feel like, Sutton, the guy wasn't even interested in you. So why would you call the guy up? Because if he wanted to give you his business card, he would have given you his business card as well. And he didn't. So then the ladies, they talk amongst themselves. They break up into two groups. I thought Erica was being a good friend. So if you guys remember from episode 2, at the very last 5 minutes of episode 2, Erica and Kyle, they're talking about, she didn't say her name, Morgan Wade, but she was dancing around it. And I think the audience could allude to the fact that, okay, she's talking about Morgan Wade. In this episode, after the little speed dating event, Dorit says to Kyle something like, are you going to date or whatever? And she's saying to Dorit, well, are you going to date? And Dorit's like, well, I'm I'm recently just separated, but you've been separated for 3 years. I felt like Erica was being a good friend because that was when Erica was like, Dorit, can I talk to you, alone or privately or whatever? And Dorit, they go off to talk, and then Sutton just shows up. Okay, Sutton, whatever. But Dorit's talking about, her problems with PK and whatever else. And Sutton, she's like, I'm so sympathetic, and I'm all this, and I'm all that. A very different tune from what she had last season. But again, she needs to play nice because you want to know what? The person with the strong black friend is now Dorit, not Sutton. I said what I said. Anyway, over on the other side, Boz, Rachel, and Kyle, they're talking more about it. Boz is basically I want to be your friend, but with my friends, I know what's going on. If you want to date. And Kyle's just basically well, why don't you just ask me what you want to ask? And Boz is like, what do I want to ask you? And Kyle's just well, I could go Brad or Angelia. And then everybody's just Oh, okay. Kyle's like, I'm attracted to men, but blah, 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 blah. And then Rachel said, you don't have to decide or figure it out. I don't even think Kyle's bisexual. I think maybe she had like a midlife crisis. This was immediately after her best friend that she's known since second grade committed suicide. I think she found someone that she connected to. Maybe she wanted to experiment or something. With women, it's very different from men. Like, women can look at another woman and think, oh, okay, that's an attractive woman. With men, it's so different. It's like with men, it's either like they feel like there's something wrong with them if they find another man attractive. Then that's why I'm like, oh my God, I must be gay or some shit. But with women, it's not necessarily that. And Rachel, like, she said it perfectly. And if you watch What Happens Live, Erica, she says it also to Andy, because Andy was like, I think she's strictly dickly. Erica's like, I think this was a one-off. I think this was more about the person, less about the gender. Like she felt a connection with someone. And listen, I mean, whether she is or she isn't, I don't actually think she's a lesbian. Maybe bi-curious. No, I don't see her being like a full-blown lesbian. We see a couple of the ladies' singular scenes. I don't really get into singular scenes because I feel like, yeah, okay, whatever. There's not really anything to talk about. There's not anything to learn. I mean, Amanda's fiance, Eddie, is in construction and she's from Oklahoma, and for her, she grew up with very humble beginnings, and Friday nights was hanging out at the Walmart parking lot. You know what? Maybe she knows Jen. Jen's from Oklahoma. Maybe the two of them know each other. Who knows? So then Bose, Amanda, and Dorit, they meet up for lunch. I get the feeling like Bose and Amanda, they don't really jive with each other. They're being cordial, but it doesn't seem like they really like each other. I noticed that when she came, they didn't greet each other with a hug or a kiss. I mean, not that you need to be touching people like that, because you definitely don't. But, I just noticed it because when Dorit came in, she did give Amanda a hug and a kiss. I don't know if she gave her a kiss, but she gave her a hug. So anyway, Bose and Amanda, they meet up first, and Bose basically asks Amanda a little bit about herself. Amanda's talking about her manifestation of being rich and whatever. And Bose is listening. I get the feeling that Bose felt like Amanda was in corporate America, has some sort of title, that maybe she was an actual like financial advisor. Now, Amanda does say in her confessional, I'm not a financial advisor, but you know what? Bose doesn't see that confessional until after the confessional has been taped. So at that point, I don't think Bose realized, like, yeah, what is this? Because I think she had the thoughts or the assumption that I was an executive in corporate America. So maybe Amanda, her expertise is in finances because she also worked in corporate America or has some sort of position or title that was more than just being a life coach and manifesting being rich. So Dorit comes, she's telling the ladies about her problems with PK, the financial problems, specifically that, they don't have a prenup because when she met PK, he basically lost everything, so he had nothing, so there was no reason for a prenup. But she's realizing that things are in her name, like the house, for example, so that when it goes into pre-foreclosure, it's not just I'm going to lose my house, it's I'm going to lose my house and also face consequences. There's other stuff too. Amanda asks her about retirement savings, and Dorit's like, I don't know. I don't think there's any. And so then Bose says to Amanda, what can she do? How could she help herself financially? And Amanda was given some exactly like how Bose described it. Fufu la Fufu. I don't know. Fufu was the horse from the Aristocrats, the Disney cartoon. I grew up watching Disney. I still watch Disney. As a matter of fact, now that I have Disney Plus, I rewatch all of the freaking old Disney animated movies. But Fufu, when I heard Fufu, I thought about the Aristocrats. Fufu was the horse. Anyway, I'm with you, Bose. I was like, what kind of Fufu bullshit is this? Because I genuinely felt that Bose thought that Amanda knew what she was talking about in the sense that she has some sort of expertise, and not an expertise as in your relationship with money needs to change. You need to want it for yourself. Think positive. And that's why I think she said to Amanda, how can she help herself? What financial advice can you give her? Because it was like, what the hell is this? Like, what? Like, if that was what Dorit wanted, she legit could have Googled that nonsense. She could have asked her chat GPT. She could have asked Gemini. And as a matter of fact, if she had asked Gemini or chat, she would have gotten a better response than manifestation. What do you think of Amanda Amanda and her title, her official money queen, whatever self-title that she gave herself. I mean, when I heard that, I was thinking she's trying to pull that nonsense that Britt Eady was doing. Do you guys feel the same way? Do you guys also think that there's some weird energy going on between Boz and Amanda? Like, they just don't seem to click. Do you think that they just got off on the wrong foot at Jennifer Tilly's party and, now they're kind of feeling a little awkward around each other? Let me know, guys. All right.